German boys and girls and people of all binaries. I'm Wolfgang Wilcox, your friend from the UK, welcoming you back to Not For Broadcast, the Timeloop, where we are about to enter Universe 2TA.
Fresh hell is this?
No, Chester, I will not tell you again. We went over it 17 times in the taxi on the way over here. Now, I like repetition as much as the next man, but one must draw a line somewhere.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
Should we run a little thought experiment, Mr. Mims?
Oh, yes, Dr. Magnus. That sounds like fun.
Good. Let's begin with some data gathering. These couches, how many people do you think that they comfortably accommodate?
Probably 2 apiece.
Good. Exactly. At most, I'd postulate.
Allowing for personal space, I agree with your conclusion.
Good. Next variable. How many people host the nightly show?
I believe there are 3.
Once again, I concur. Well done. Now, computation. If there are 3 hosts, how many seats are left?
1, Dr. Magnus.
And what can we conclude from this data, Chester? Well done.
Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
Off you trot.
Something wrong, Colin?
What happened to the news?
News? I think I remember that.
This is... Oh, God, this is light entertainment.
Are you okay, Colin?
I just met someone in the corridor who said they were Patrick Bannon.
That's Patrick, yeah.
But it isn't, and this isn't. This is awful. I need to lie down. How did you let this happen? How could you?
That what happened?
All this.
Remind me how we let this happen.
Something about King Canute, if I remember correctly. Dr. Charles Magnus. This is Jeremy Donaldson. Jeremy, Dr. Magnus.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr.
Because
Donaldson.
we have been over this, Patrick. If it is in my dressing room, it is mine, okay? If you want your own, ask Jenny.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get 2.
Great.
How about that?
Get as many as you want. I don't care, Patrick.
And when something really awful happens to yours, yeah, I'll keep both. How about that?
Is that a threat?
Yes.
Did everyone hear that?
Patrick! Robin! This is Dr. Charles Magnus, who's our guest this evening.
Hi! Hi, lovely to meet you.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Nice
It's a
to meet you
pleasure.
both. Is everything okay? You seem to be at loggerheads.
10 seconds, everybody.
Us? No, we're fine. Showbiz.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson, and welcome to The Nightly Show, your #1 source for digestible talking points. As ever, we're joined on the couch of chat with inexplicably popular co-hosts Robin Short and Patrick Bannon.
Thanks, JD. Great to be here with you as always, but particularly today when we have such an uplifting show ahead of us.
That's right, Robin. On tonight's special extended edition of The Nightly Show, we'll be doing some science stuff with one of the country's top brain boxes, and it's gonna make you grin.
Yes, science stuff. In an impressive building overlooking the picturesque hills of Chintleberry.
It's the one they used the outside of for John Wax 5. You broke my fingernail, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some filming, but we were rather busy at the time.
Probably doing science stuff.
No, they did. You know, I've seen that movie 14 times. Oh, don't worry, not loaded.
We're pleased to welcome Dr. Charles Magnus, whose catchily named Happiness Collective has been working on a secret project designed to make us all happier.
Oh, even you, JD.
I remain dubious.
Now, you must have noticed this bonkers-looking thing. Well, this is called the euphoric device, and apparently it's going to make us all happier. Did I get this science right, Doc?
Actually, it's called the Euphoria.
So don't touch that dial. Stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you
The Night of Smiles.
Coming to you live from the Channel 1 building. Greetings in the heart of the capital. It's
The Nightly Show.
Night after the show, and you two can sit and talk it all out with her until it's done. Shouldn't take more than a couple of hours.
Tonight?
But she did need to flirt.
Definitely did, but I have to think.
Tonight?
Yes, well, you know, my show.
Yeah, that's actually that's really not great for me either.
Oh, maybe we should just go down.
Yeah, you know, upon further reflection, I may have
Overreacted.
possibly.
Excellent. Okay, 10 seconds, everybody.
Bitch.
nonsense.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes' time, we'll be turning on the Euphoria.
Oh, I wish someone would turn on my Euphoria device.
Crikey.
It's been ages.
But before we do that, let's attempt to have a conversation about the science behind the spectacle. We're joined here by the leader of the Happiness Collective, Dr. Charles Magnus.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
The head of a collective.
Yes, Patrick, I was bemused by
Does
that.
that make you like Alpha Geek?
It's not exactly the
That is
terminology.
brilliant.
So, Dr. Magnus, this is a big night for you. You must be very excited.
Yes, that's an accurate observation.
That's an accurate observation. I love this guy. I love you, you crazy brainiac.
We both do. We love you.
But slightly more impartially, we do actually have a couple of questions.
As I would expect.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Magnus, who are you wearing?
What? Who am I wearing? I'm not wearing anyone. I haven't been hugged in 8 years.
I think they're asking you who designed your clothes.
That seems to be an entirely irrelevant subject.
Yes, I agree, but you'll be surprised how often it comes up.
Well, we just get the lab coats as a job lot.
Job a lot. Oh, isn't she that enfant terrible that came out of San Palmerino? I love her.
Honestly, I've really no idea what you're talking
Now,
about.
Dr. Magnus, I'm sure our viewers would be curious to understand your process.
Yes,
a bit.
good. Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
So, when you're slogging away on those late nights at the lab, what music do you listen to?
Well,
I'm sure the doctor would rather talk about his devices.
Brahms, some Schubert, Chopin. Focuses the mind.
Exactly as you would expect. from
And
a
I'm
scientist.
something of an aficionado on the song Drum Drum Bang a Bang.
Drum, bang, a bang, straight up, wham, wham. Yes, man. No, man. Drum, bang, a bang.
Drum Drum Bang a Bang. Now I'm all flim flam. Got me in the clim clam. Spinning on my wag wag. Come and say my yam tap. Drum Drum Bang a Bang.
It's such a tongue twister. It's so catchy.
Right, good. That happened. Perhaps now we could turn to some possible problems with the experiment.
Absolutely. I mean, well, we've got this great big studio to set up your device in. But, well, it is incredibly big, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not very consumer friendly.
It's a very specific colour scheme.
I wouldn't suit everywhere. I shouldn't think.
Well, I suppose that's true. Theoretically, we could, given enough time, make it a little smaller and perhaps personalize it a little.
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean, I know I would love a happy button. Maybe you could put them on a key ring. Oh, how great would that be?
Let me try.
Yeah.
That's lovely. I'm happy now. JD?
I'll pass.
Oh, I love that, Patrick. I love it. Oh, what'd you say, Doctor? Want to go?
Dr. Magnus, alongside these no doubt crucial aesthetic concerns, there are some more rather serious ethical issues, aren't there?
Well, that sounds absolutely fascinating, Jeremy, but we're going to have to stop you there because we are going to introduce our surprise guest.
What? I wasn't told about this.
You've made a fuss again.
Please welcome. Well, it's only the blooming Prime Minister, isn't it? Julius Salisbury!
You've got to be kidding me.
Prime Minister! Julia, please. Julia,
It's so good
good to have you back on the couch of chat.
Oh, you know, I never miss the opportunity to pop in.
It does seem that way.
Yes, any more pop-ins? We'll have to put you in the titles.
I presume you're here for the experiment?
Yes, well, after all, you did pay for it.
Actually, we paid for it.
Yeah, well, you know, when I first heard about this project, I jumped at the chance to fund it. Increased happiness for everyone in the territories. What could be more advanced?
Thank you, Miss Salisbury. We really have appreciated your government's unflinching support for the project.
Oh, you're very welcome, Dr. Magnus. But actually, that's not why I'm here. I just popped in to show you something.
The latest budget forecast, perhaps a groundbreaking new policy document.
God, no. I get enough of that at the office. Yawn. Ready? Pick a card.
Really?
Oh, you're such a party pooper. Pick a card, Patrick. 6 of clubs. Oh my God! We're gonna shut.
Oh my God, get on with it!
There we go. Right, you'll go. Pick a card. Pick a card. Okay. 6 of clubs.
Well, obviously, the whole pack is entirely full of the
That's
six of...
funding's Leslie, isn't it, Charles?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, yes.
Well, as we're all doing magic tricks, let's see if the big one actually works, shall we? Let's go over to the machine.
Chester Mims, 24. My favourite tastes are glacé cherries, toothpaste, and vegetable
He's
gravy.
nobody. He's just an assistant. Chester, move out of the way and let the Prime Minister get to the button.
But Dr. Magnus, all my years of training.
Are as but naught when compared with our annual magnificent funding check.
Don't worry, Mr. Mims. At Advance, we recognise the contributions of all, from the greatest to the meekest, as equally important and equally valued. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I mean, I still am going to press the button, though, so... Let's get a little countdown going on the screen. And there we are. Lovely. Come on, everyone. So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6, Mr. Donaldson. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was a bunch of nothing as well.
Mark my words, Winston. I shall be long dead before I ever let this happen at Channel 1.
Yes. Yes, of course. Okay, over to Universe 2VL then. Today, hashtag satire.
Winston, I'm not what you would call a tech guy. I have a strange glass slab here that seems to want to see my face. I'm not sure I trust it, so I put a balaclava on. Let's not stick around here any longer than we have to.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of... Do you know what? I'm going to text it to you. That way you'll have it written down and I won't have to keep on repeating myself.
Yes, of course, Dr. Magnus.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
Thank you. Not you.
Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
God, why do they have to make these keyboards so bloody small?
Everything all right, Carl?
What is that? Secret government technology?
What are you talking about? My phone?
Fine, give me a break.
Well, I really don't know what you're on about. It's not the latest, but
Do you really not have your own phone, Carl?
Yeah, I'm attached to a wall like normal people.
You used to have a landline. No, like,
Oh my God, you got one too?
Tell you what, for a lunch break, I'll take you out to the shops and we'll go get you one, eh?
Why do I want a telephone in my pocket? It's annoying enough when it goes off at home. I never get anything done.
Phone ringing off the hook, is it?
Yeah, I've got friends. This phone's very social. It doesn't even look like a phone.
What doesn't look like a phone?
A phone, apparently.
Well, he has got a point. It does look more like a brass coaster.
Stop. Dr. Magnus, Jeremy Donaldson. Jeremy, Dr. Magnus.
Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Magnus. You're the one who came up with the happiness device, is that it?
Well, actually, it's the Euphoria device. The Happiness Collective is the organisation that created it.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's a vitally important distinction.
Sorry I'm so late.
Difficult selfie. Bozeman's new promotional campaign is just nuts.
What
I know what.
campaign?
This one, Jeremy. The look behind the lens. Come on, it's all about the engagement.
Why wasn't I told about this?
Maybe you would have been if you'd answered your phone for a change.
I like to keep it on mute.
Or read your DMs.
I don't know what they are. I just want people to call.
Then why is your phone... No, you know what? I'm not doing this. 10 seconds, everybody.
Oh, Professor Magnus, your Tom talk was just amazing. 31
Going in
million views.
5, 4, 3...
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Welcome to this special OneLive.net event hosted by your national nightly news team.
We are, of course, still broadcasting on Channel 1.
This is Dr. Charles Magnus, whose organisation, the Happiness Collective, have built a device to make us all smile.
For more background, click on the link below.
In just a few moments, Dr. Magnus will introduce his device and explain what we can expect to feel tonight.
And, of course, you can get involved in the conversation yourself by using the hashtag SMILE.
So don't close that tab. Keep OneLive.net with you all evening as we bring you the night of hashtag smiles.
What in the holy heck is a hashtag?
It's about this promotional campaign.
Intending to join us? Update your socials.
Of course not.
Smile, Jeremy. Less of a smile now. You're just scaring the children. No.
Why does everyone have to keep plastering their image all over everywhere? I just don't get it.
Jeremy, that's literally your job.
But it shouldn't be, should it? It should be.
No.
I have fact-based information to impart.
Do you?
All I have is bickering
10
opinion.
seconds.
It's not the same.
Right, you are.
It's not the same,
Right,
Jerry.
your opinion, is it? Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. We're joined tonight by a face that launched 1,000 memes. It's Dr. Charles Magnus, renowned scientist, influencer, and host of the popular podcast, What's Wrong with Chester?
Hello.
Dr. Magnus, thank you so much for being here. Your Euphoria device has been all over Biff Baff and my face for weeks now, and I don't mind telling you that our comment section is just popping off with questions for you, so let's dive straight in.
Or perhaps, before we do, you might like to talk a little bit about the science involved tonight, Doctor.
Well, actually, there's a documentary available to stream on the Happiness Collective's website, newhappynow.org, which goes into a lot of depth about the theoretical quantum physics and vibrational science behind tonight's work.
Absolutely, I've watched it. It's fascinating stuff and all in under 2 minutes.
Sounds rigorously academic.
Well,
Let's go to the Tattle feed now, where incidentally both hashtag smile and hashtag hot doc are trending.
really?
This is from AJ is R27. They say another thought machine to keep the sheeple happy, before going on to make some fairly outrageous claims about chimpanzees in the basement of a sushi restaurant and plug his Your Screen channel. But he does end by saying, ask them where their funding came from.
Well, actually, that is a valid question. How did you pay for all this?
Well, AJ is R27. Obviously, we had a very successful crowdfunding campaign on Begging Bowl.
I remember
Listen, I'm not following this at all. What do these words even mean?
And to come to his other points, the machine doesn't actually affect thoughts, just feelings.
But aren't they inseparably linked? I mean,
The claim about the chimp fiddling is absolutely just fanciful internet conspiracy nonsense. Probably put out by that Alan James and his ridiculous webcast.
thank you, Doctor. We're going to be looking at more of your questions in a minute, but first, quick reminder to
like and subscribe. Yeah, that's right. If you want to be among the first to find out whenever we release new content, don't forget to hit those buttons and keep an eye on your inbox.
Speaking of which, let's get back to Tattle. This next toot is from Unity, Dignity and Equality for All. Well, I'm a little on the nose, but fine. They say, I, for one, think this experiment is a wonderful idea, Providing happiness for everyone is surely the most altruistic government policy of all time. I'm so grateful to Advance for making it happen. There's no question there.
No, but a lovely sentiment for the Doctor and his team.
Yes, indeed, and thank you very much. And I would also like to second that thanks to Advance. Even though we exceeded our stretch goals several times over,
Clearly
it still required a
Sorcerer's
huge
Burn.
cash injection from the government to get us to where we are tonight.
And don't forget, if you've got an unlikely science experiment you want to try,
You can get a government grant at advance.com/fundmydream, and there's a link, of course, in the description below.
right, this next one is from... Oh, actually, I think I follow her. Yes, she's a fantastic scientist, and I think maybe even one of your team, Dr. Magnus. This is from Decline 1984. It's been the high point of my career to work with someone as impeccable
There we
as Dr.
go.
Magnus. Only the firm hand of his leadership could have brought us all to this brighter tomorrow. He is a stallion among foals. And they sign off with a peach emoji and a heart. Oh, sounds like you might have another fan there. Hashtag hot dog.
Yes, yeah, thank you very much, madam. That was too kind. And you were, of course, integral to the development of the Euphoria device, and I wish, I really wish... excuse me, do we know if the people sending in these comments and questions are actually watching right now?
Well, they've only just come into the chat, so it's probably a safe bet. Yes. Now, if we could just move on to our
No,
next one.
I think we should start the experiment immediately while Miss Decline 1984 is still watching. Chester.
Well, actually, we do have a format that we were hoping to follow, and we're not quite at the point yet where
We
want
can
to
get back to the tattle as soon as we start the experiment. Perhaps when the euphoria kicks in, it won't be so full of angry cunts. To a better tomorrow.
To a better tomorrow.
Miss Klein.
There we go, that
Right,
worked.
we got her surname. Let's get out of here. These bits of glass keep lighting up and buzzing. I think maybe they're broken.
We've done all the ones, we've done all the twos. Okay. That means Universe Free TV. Oh, we're in hell.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of mating rituals I've attended when no one has turned up, followed by the number of blessings the entity has bestowed under my left arm. The date my predestined match was sacrificed by my best friend, the age my pet Gwoglaw was when I was forced to eat him. The number of times I've communed with the darkness, and the exact position of the celestial bodies when I first felt its dark touch. I honestly don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, please, High Priest Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
Not you.
Dr. Magnus, I don't like the way it's been looking at me lately. Isn't it possible for me to sit here?
No, definitely not. Honestly, you think too highly of yourself, Chester. You're not chosen. You'll be fine. Now go and wait over there.
Yes, Dr. Magnus.
Be respectful in his presence, please, Colin.
Interesting. Wouldn't want to live here, though.
Live where?
You know, here, with that. Definitely different, though.
What's different?
My clothing choices, if you ask my mother.
She's half blind, though, isn't she?
Doesn't seem to stop her. Jeremy, this is Dr. Magnus. His assistant's floating around here somewhere, too.
Doctor, pleased to meet you. I'm afraid you may find me a little skeptical, though.
Science thrives on being challenged, Mr. Donaldson.
Sorry I'm late. Ancient curse. High Priest Magnus.
Doctor, I believe.
Either is appropriate.
10 seconds, everybody.
Seems like a conflict of interest to me.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This one is Jeremy Johnson.
And this one is Megan Wolfe. It's the third blood moon in the year of the severed heart, and this is an Ancient One special event hosted by your arcane and occult news team.
In an ancient tower, concealed within the hallowed forest of Tittlewood, High Priest Dr. Charles Magnus and his appropriately named unworthy congregation have been working on a grand act of devotion.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country, which, as we all know, provides a dramatic and positive increase in taste for it that devours.
We'll be in and out of the schedule throughout the evening, with our eager team of supplicants standing by up and down its blessed storing grounds. They'll report live, first, on whether the device has brought a smile to their faces, and then later we'll find out if it's brought flavour to their veins.
We'll have sacrificial offerings from the worlds of science, religion and entertainment, and of course those all-important flavour results.
So don't move that dial, and as always,
Appease the great ancient. Just a few swishes of its mighty barbed tentacles, this resplendent machine behind me...
Actually, Miss Wolfe, I think it might be best if we conducted the experiment sooner rather than later, all things considered.
Ah, yes, of course. Sorry, I'm still on script. Maybe just a couple of quick introductory chats, though, to set the scene. You are Doctor and High Priest Charles Magnus.
Yes, I suppose so.
Please explain to our undeserving audience, how will this device please its great and terrible malevolence?
Well, as we all know, we are but food for the great ancient. It that devours the undying one, master of horror, stumps incarnate. However, a few years ago, through a series of carefully conducted rituals, we gleaned that it has always found displeasure in our taste. It's a bit off, apparently. Well, according to our expert divinations, the beast is not content with our flavor. It's because of the soul-crushing fear we experience as it approaches at impossible angles from a darkening sky. Makes us taste a bit tart.
Even the sacrifices?
Yeah. Our research suggests they can be quite scary too, for those on the receiving end.
I have noticed they often make a lot of a fuss.
I just assumed it was the ecstasy of being among the chosen.
It's a very difficult situation for the Undying One. After all, as we all know from the texts, its mere presence shall cause the blood to chill, and its touch brings forth the cold revulsion of disease and decay.
Hard to maintain a smile under those circumstances.
And it does like to play with its food, rather. An arm there, a leg there. As divine privileges go, it can be a bit traumatic.
I see. So it wants us to go to our deaths happy and with a smile, does it? Ignore that pesky survival instinct of ours.
Oh, those pesky human things.
That seems entirely reasonable to me. How do we accomplish it?
Well, once I activate the Euphoria device, we will all be able to remain joyful and at peace, even as we watch our families devoured before meeting our own inevitable fate. We can meet our horrifically visceral ends without complaint or fear. In short, we will finally taste nothing. Thus ensuring the unspeakable horror will have a bountiful food supply for millennia to come, which I think we can all agree is the ultimate goal.
Can't get no argument from me.
Well then, without any further ado at all whatsoever, let's do this thing. High Priest Magnus, bestow upon us your mighty gift of blissful ignorance.
think I've got to get the fuck out of here quick. So... free MS. We shot this before everything ever all at once came out. This game's...
Anyone all day. Building seems to be an enormous, healthy buffet. I've been snacking the whole time.
I've told you 1,000 times, Cherry. It's the total number of fruit minus the total number of vegetables multiplied by the combined ability to keep medical professionals away. I honestly don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just wait here, please, Dr. Mandarin. The
Full
host will be with you
disclosure, I
Not
haven't
him.
seen everything everywhere all at once, so this...
Wait, no,
so that
please,
joke's lost on me.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
There it is.
There what is?
Look really cute in this universe. Back in a sec.
Winston, it occurs to me, I think I might have been eating the star. Specifically, Patrick. Just don't tell anyone, all right?
What's happened to her? No idea. Colin can handle it. He handles everything else. Anyway, Lemony Donaldson, this is Dr. Charles Mandarin.
Ah, of course. Lemony Donaldson, professionally sour.
All the sharpest minds are.
Sorry I'm late. Colin left me in the dressing room again. Professor Mandarin.
Actually, it's Doctor, apparently.
Either is fine.
And we're going live in 10. Colin!
Shit.
5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Lemony Donaldson.
And I'm Mango Wolf. It's the 13th of March 1985, and this is a Channel 1 of Your 5-A-Day special event, hosted by your National Nightly Fruit team.
In a bowl, nestled on an occasional table in Chittlebury, Dr. Charles Mandarin and his succulently named Gesticulation Collective have been working on a secret project.
They claim their ambulatory device will finally enable us all to grow our own arms and legs, whatever they are. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that world-changing claim to the test.
We'll be in and out of schedule throughout.
I don't know.
With our team of reporters
Get the
lying about up and down
solution
the
here,
to
but
report live
fucking
on
hell,
whether
this
the
is
device has
funny.
actually given us all the ability to get up off our cores and move for ourselves.
We'll have experts from the world of salad, pudding and preserves, and of course, those all-important results.
So, even though you soon might be finally able to, don't move that dial. Stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you
The Night of Limbs.
Presentation, though.
Yes, I believe we're just getting it ready now.
Oh.
10 seconds. Going live in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the scrumptious machine behind me will be activated and maybe, just maybe, we will all finally find ourselves freed from our bowls. But first, let's meet the man behind the movement, Dr. Charles Mandarin.
Hello.
Dr. Mandarin, this whole notion of granting fruit self-driven momentum, that's a little far-fetched, surely.
Not at all, Lemony. After years of research, a top team, and some out-of-the-orchard thinking, we believe we've finally discovered the secret of rapid evolution.
Well then, please do tell us how it works.
Ah, well, this is where my presentation comes in handy. If we could just flip over to the first page there. Here. There So, as you can see, our current lack of movement will be solved by the additional growth of what I've named limbs. These limbs will be subdivided into two categories. The first pair, we're calling them arms, will allow for more complex tasks and interactions with the environment. The second, currently called legs, are stronger but less precise and will enable us to change our location unaided.
Wow, that is quite the claim. Do you have any idea as to the implications of such a large change?
Well, of course, on the next page, please. So, as you can see, we expect a significant increase in productivity for the average fruit. The capabilities of these limbs is really quite extraordinary.
Yes, if we can work out how to use them. Dr. Mandarin, this seems like dramatic, life-altering science. But have you run tests? Do we know this is even safe?
Well, obviously risk can never be totally eliminated. You can't make a flan without losing a segment, as they say, Mr. Donaldson. However, we've run numerous safety tests on vegetables. They are our nearest biological neighbors, after all, even if they do seem subsentient. We've brought in our prototype model to demonstrate tonight.
Shit.
Oh, wow, well, that is impressive. And it all works without damaging the poor vegetable.
Well, we're more than 87% confident that any pain felt was minimal at most.
Right then. Well, thank you for that, Dr. Mandarin. Now let's get that thing out of here, shall we? Whew, dirt has given me the pips. We were hoping to go live to the new government presentation cushion for a special message from the Prime Ministers, Peach Clement and Julia Limesbury, but unfortunately he's got a bit pickled and she's worried he'll just take the piff. So I think we're just going to make our way over to the machine. Oh, careful, Colin. Colin, I can't see.
Watch it!
Just down here, Colin.
I seem to be stuck under. Oh.
Colin, don't forget about Cherry. Okay, I think we're all here. I can't really see, so there's that. Who's here?
I'm here!
Me, Cherry Mims, 24 hours old. My favourite places are refrigerators, vineyards and black forests. So I'm here.
As am I.
Good. Let's get the countdown started then. Cherry?
Yes, sure. Okay, starting at 10.
9, 8, 7, 6. Come on, Colin.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Could you press that for me, please? For Christ's sake.
Never liked him. Let's get out of here before the police arrive.
Right then. The answer is obviously in one of the last two universes, 3TA or 3VL. We'll find out in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and good night out there, whatever you are.